selfie of a servant. I remember growing up as a young lad and walking through my grandfather's house, grandmother's house, and in the living room above the piano, there stood two pictures, which I later learned were my great-grandfather and great-grandmother. And I noticed that the pictures that they took, or everybody in that era, when they took a picture, looked very serious, very stern. Found out later on the reason was that they were not angry when they took the picture, but that taking a picture was sometimes, for some people at that time, or once in a lifetime experience, because professional photography was so expensive. And so when they took their picture, they took the picture that would last sometimes for generations to remember them by. Well, as time went on, we invented something called the Polaroid. And those who had a Polaroid could simply take the picture. Many of us remember having to shake it to make it develop, and then after a while, the picture would start to appear, sort of like Back to the Future in reverse. You start seeing the people appear in the picture. Then as time went on, through technology, something called the cell phone was invented. And then it became the smartphone. And now it's to the point that any standard phone has a camera on it itself. So now we can take a picture anytime we get ready. We've even moved to the point where we don't necessarily need professional photography. We can pause wherever we are, hold the camera up to our face, and snap a picture. And then Instagram it or Facebook it and all the other things and say, this is what I'm doing right now. This is my selfie, a picture of myself doing what I'm doing. And now we find out that in the text, that we may not have invented the selfie. Jesus says, did you see what I just did? When he washed the disciples. I'm a tax collector. I don't believe in washing y'all guys' feet. I was a rich tax collector. Peter may have said, I'm the spokesperson. Not my job to wash y'all feet. Andrew may have said, I brought you to Jesus, Peter. I'm not washing your feet. Philip was one of the accountants and took the notes, and he said, no, I'm too proud, I'm too busy, I'm too sophisticated to wash somebody's feet. Judas was busy counting the money in the treasury to steal it, to wash somebody's feet. John may have said, I'm the disciple that Jesus loved the most. So that puts me up above y'all, so I'm not washing anybody's feet. But Jesus takes a selfie. He stops the dinner, pulls off his garment of a priest, puts a towel around his waist, symbolizing that he's a servant. Because many times we don't mind being a servant leader, but it's different about being a servant. We don't mind being the shot caller, but it's different when it comes to being a servant. We don't mind saying I'm a servant leader and I tell you what to do, but a servant means I don't mind being and doing the lowest of the low. Servant means I don't mind picking up a piece of paper. Servant means I don't mind moving some chairs. Servant means I don't mind mopping some floor. Jesus is saying to us today, I'm giving you an example of what a servant looks like. He takes off his priestly garment and ties the towel around his waist to symbolize a slave. Comes around the table and begins to wash every disciple. They're your waiters. They're bringing the Lord's Supper to you. That's why they serve you first, because servants eat last. Then when all of them have been served, all of you rather have been served, then they come back, and then Deacon Smith and I serve them, symbolizing we are serving them. And then when they are served, I serve him, symbolizing that I'm serving him. And then I go last, which means I'm not the boss, but the lowest servant. I'm the chief servant, not the chief. We got to understand what servant really means. That's why you go first and I go last. Because God did not send me here for you just to wait on me. God sent me here to serve you. I serve him first by serving him. But then I serve him by serving you. So if we're going to be in leadership, no matter what our positions is, we have to understand that we are sent by God. We are sent by God on a mission to help serve the kingdom of God.